One more topic that we want to go over, and this is just something for us to all be aware of, and that is, there's this one sister. She is a defense attorney, and this is in America, and she told us something yesterday I think that we should all be aware of as we come to the Masaajid. And so what she said is, I'll read it out. So, as a criminal defense attorney who wrote an entire book about how the US government, through the use of informants, they infiltrate the Muslim community. This is happening in America. We can pretty much expect that it's happening here too. They infiltrate the Muslim communities. Now we're talking about the munafiqun, those who behave or act like they are Muslims, but they just come, but they are not Muslims, but they are just here to break the ummah from within. And especially when these global issues are taking place. So the Muslims are angry regarding what's happening to our brothers and our sisters. This is when they come and they try to take advantage of this. How? They try to generate more fear under false pretenses and beat the war drum, so to say, for global conquest and criminalize an already marginalized people. What this means is, they go to the Masaajid and they'll see maybe people who don't know much of deen. Maybe they're angry with what's happening because it's basic humanity. Basic humanity is when we feel sorry or we feel pity for a people who's been suffering for such a long time. Even if you don't go to the Masjid, you go to other places. Any person with an ounce of rahmah in their heart, they will feel sorry for what's going on in the situation. But these people, they don't see that, right? They just want to make the Muslims look bad. So they come, they see who's here. Maybe they're not well off in terms of finance. So because they are suffering in poverty, usually they are already, sort of in a mind frame that's not healthy. It can usually be toxic. And so they go to these people and they start inciting some form of violence against certain people in the same community. They'll start telling you, oh, let's go and attack these people because they support them. Let's go and attack those people because they support them. Sort of, when they start saying things, then they push you to say things that you wouldn't usually say, or to do things that you wouldn't usually say, simply so that when you fall into their trap, then they'll go and they'll get the authorities, and then you'll find the media, terrorism right over here. These people, they are doing this, they are doing that. They are haters of this and haters of that. Who stirred it? They stirred it. And this is how the hypocrites will try to destroy Islam. And something you and I have to be aware of, that in the current situation, they will definitely try it. Because the hypocrites and the enemies of Islam are always trying to attack Islam. Even if you and I become lazy and complacent, they will not become complacent. Because they know that the moment this ummah is healed and united is the end. They can't afford it. Immediately once the Sharia is in place, the pornography industry will be shut down. The alcohol industry will be shut down. Every single industry that they are making money from will be shut down. So they can't allow the Sharia to be dominant in the world. Right? However, this is something you and I, we have to be aware of. Again, at the same time, you have to know the rules. You have to know what's legal in this country and what's illegal in this country. And when it comes to an oppressed people, to stand for them, to spread awareness, to go for the protests, all of this and this and that, it's allowed. The only thing that you're not allowed to do is to show support to anything that they may deem as terrorist organizations. So to say that you support, for example, those who are resisting, Hamas, for example, to use these names, they can actually classify you as a criminal, and then they can actually put you in jail for that. So know what's legal, know what's illegal. Hopefully they won't do anything. This is a educational video, inshallah. May Allah protect us all. So we do not ascribe ourselves to any of the movements, to any of the groups. And this also coincides with the sunnah. And we will never use the sunnah just to back them up. What's the truth is the truth. When Rasulullah said, فَاعْتَزِلْ تِلْكَ الْفِرَقَ كُلَّهَا. When you find that there's no khalifa, that there's no people to unite the ummah, then withdraw from all the groups and bite onto the roots of a tree up until death takes you. And so that's what we do today. We stand with every single person who says La ilaha illallah, but in the correct way. People have also been asking me the questions, why should I go for the protests? It's fitna, free mixing, all this and this and that. And something we usually tend to forget is that in situations like this, you have to sometimes choose the lesser evil over the greater evil. As I think it was Ali radiallahu anhu, he said that sometimes the fuqaha, the true fuqaha, those who have a true understanding, is not just about the rules. This is halal, this is haram, this is a sin, and that's not a sin. You also have to look at the condition of the people. You have to look at how strong the people are in iman. Let's go to these people who are doing the protest and say, all right, you're all shouting, you're all free mixing. half of you are not wearing your hijab, so don't do this. What's going to happen? Do you think they're going to listen first and foremost? No. They'll probably just tell you to go away. And number two, if then the Palestinians have to hear that nobody from across the globe, nobody from their own ummah is actually caring about them anymore, not trying to stand with them anymore, that will break them easily. If anything, that will be the first thing that breaks them. So there are many benefits in going for these protests. And we also have to see things from a balance. Yes, on one side, is it the best solution? It's only the beginning of the solution. Right? The actual solution is to implement the Sharia, and that's something the Muslims have to come together. But it's still something that we have to do. For those who can't go to these protests, yes, there's benefit in it. Show your support for our brothers and our sisters, that they are not alone, that we are all coming together, we are making dua, we are doing everything we can to raise awareness. If you can go on social media also to spread it, yes, do it. Right? Not everything is just one-sided. Okay, we're going to become sort of what do they term it? Super Salafi these days, right? Now we're just going to keep strictly now to the book, and we're not going to have any of the fuqaha or any of the fiqh of the understanding of things. It's the same thing when it comes to other rulings. If you go to the fuqaha, they will also look at the situation of the people. Many of the people, they don't know this today. Right? If you, for example, look at Aisha radiallahu anha, she said that if the very first thing Allah revealed was leave alcohol and leave zina, you wouldn't find a single Muslim on the globe today. No, but look at how Allah did it over time. This is fiqh, understanding that sometimes to strengthen the ummah, you have to start off small, start off from the bottom. If a person is not offering his 5 salah, you can't tell him just immediately offer 5 salah. If he tries to do that 2 days later, he'll be tired, he'll be leaving it. You start off with 1. A person came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, I'm finding 5 too difficult. If I'm allowed to do 2 salah, I will accept Islam. That's what he said. What did Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam do? Haram. If you don't do 5 salah, that's it. You're going to chop your neck off, go away. No. He said, no problem, come, do it. 2 salah. Because he knew that he will start off with 2 salah. His iman will strengthen. Automatically then he'll move on to 3. And then he'll move on to 4. Because consistency is key. That's how you build things over time. And so again, for those of us who are saying, don't go to the protest, don't do this, don't do that. What are you doing to strengthen the ummah anyways? Nothing, right? So stay silent. And for those of us who can help in any way, do whatever you can. And be cautious. The hypocrites will be around you. Sometimes they say, why are we so harsh in the way we speak? It's because we, the imams, we understand this. That from amongst us sitting over here, you'll have the believers. Whether you are tough in something you say, or whether you are kind, they will always appreciate it because this is haqq. But the hypocrites will always find the resistance in their heart. They'll hate what you have to say. This brother's too harsh, he's shouting all the time, this, that. No problem, go do what you want, who cares? قُلْ مُوتُوا بِغَيْظِكُمْ, right? Go and die in your age. That's what we say. And so, قَوْلًا بَلِيغًا, قَوْلًا سَدِيدًا, speak firm, speak straight. Don't do anything that will give them reasons to make situations worse for the ummah. It's as simple as that. Show your support, but don't give the enemies of Islam any reason to try and shut down our Masaajid, for example. Don't give the enemies of Islam any reason to divert our attention away from what's going on into lesser problems in the society, that there may be some form of trouble. May Allah protect us all from that and grant us all a sound understanding. And we'll keep this over there. May Allah relieve us all from these difficulties, and the dua to be making every day. We'll finish on this note. رَبَّنَا لَا تَجْعَلْنَا فِتْنَةً لِلْقَوْمِ الظَّالِمِينَ. And oh Allah, do not make us a fitna for the wrongdoers. In this case, fitna, a temptation, would be temptations, objects of oppression. Do not make us an oppressed people for those who are the wrongdoers. وَنَجِّنَا بِرَحْمَتِكَ مِنَ الْقَوْمِ الْكَافِرِينَ. And save us with your mercy from the disbelievers. بارك الله لي ولكم في القرآن العظيم ونفعني وإياكم بالآيات والذكر الحكيم. أقول قولي هذا سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب